Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of the Fintech Hunting podcast. We have not one, but we have two amazing guests for you today. They are industry thought leaders, tech innovators. They got a wealth of industry knowledge and expertise, and are two of the absolute best people you will ever meet in the industry. Please help me welcome to the show Eric Kujala, Vice President, Product Marketing at ICE Mortgage Technology, and Paul Orlando, EVP, Chief Strategy Officer at Lender Price. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Hi, Michael. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Not overstepping a little bit, but that's okay. Nicest people in the industry, so that's fair. That's fair. I'll give it to you.
All right. Well, you guys are dear friends. It's great to have you on the show. It's amazing. We're all from Michigan, but we normally don't see each other unless we're at the airport or something else. So I know conference season is going to be up in full swing, so we'll definitely see each other there. And as we start about conferences, I think this is a perfect tie-in to collaboration and partnership. Eric, tell us a little bit. ICE experience is coming up. Tell us a little bit about what we should expect, and then tee up a little bit about why collaboration and your partners are so important to the success of experience.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, experience has been around for quite some time. It started way back when as a user conference in the LMA days back in the early 2000s, and I've talked about it before. It's kind of evolved into an industry event, and when you do an industry event, you really have to try and be as neutral as possible, but in making sure you're creating environments for people to collaborate and get together. So it's a balance of the lender community, right, that we all try and serve and provide great solutions for, and then also making sure we have the partner connections and where we can all get together and start to collaborate around innovation and ideas. But more importantly, like, how can we just help each other kind of navigate a lot of these waters? I mean, it's easy when volume's up. It's harder when volume's down. So how do we get those parties together to talk through actual real life industry problems, and then kind of help design solutions that move us all forward? So all ships rise is kind of the theory.
Well, and I think you guys do such an excellent job because you have a number of target audiences that come. Because it is a user conference, you have the power users, the people that are in the system all day long. You've got the executives that you still have to appeal to and give them industry perspectives and trends. And then you have your partner community.
That's right.
Who make all of this work together. So kudos to you on that. And part of that partner community, and Paul, this is where I'm going to have you jump in. Talk to me about what it's like and what does it mean for Lender Price to be a partner with ICE, and talk to me about how many years, and I know there's different partner levels. Share a little bit of all of that with us.
So we're very happy to be a partner with ICE and really involved with the platform. It's nice for us. We've been working with them for 9 years, and we're actually the only gold level partner they have in the product and pricing space. So it shows our commitment to the ICE platform and what we have on our team as far as, we actually have a couple of Encompass system admins that are on our team. So they really know the system in and out. So when we're working with clients, we're able to give them not only advice about how our platform works, but how we can integrate or do things differently with inside of ICE. But the other thing that we've found is that with our partner, we're able to call up and say, hey, we're working with a client, and here are some issues that they're having. And we can collaborate directly with key people at ICE so that they can help us help our client, our mutual client, get their system working exactly how they want it to be working. So, I think that's great, and the ICE experience is really good, not for us as well, because we get to meet with all of our clients that are there, but we also get to collaborate with the other partners that are there to see how we can better work together to, again, raise up, as Eric said, everybody rises together, so we can help raise our clients by integrating them with other people as well.
Well, I'm probably not supposed to say this, but I will. It's my favorite conference of the year. You guys are worried I was going to drop client names or something like that. I didn't. I saw that panic look. But it really is one of my favorite conferences because you have such a dynamic group. You've got the executives, you've got the users, you've got the partners, and everyone really is trying to paddle in the same direction. Some of the other conferences, people are fighting for with one another to get attention of, some of the prospects or some of the other people. It's not like that. ICE does a wonderful job of collaboration. So Eric, talk to me a little about, and then I'll have Paul dive into exactly what the integration does, but kind of talk to me about your guys' philosophy of partnering with companies, and how do you guys select who to partner with, and what makes a good partnership?
Yeah, I mean, the whole collective around the partnership is obviously trying to create flexibility, right? All ships kind of rise, and as kind of the the industry leader kind of LOS platform, that's kind of the core, like the core system that many lenders in the industry kind of use. And how do we help connect a lot of those pieces together? So how do we create an environment that's, and to be quite frank, we have to be somewhat neutral about it too. We don't go out and pick people and things like that. We kind of work with them to make sure that they're of good stature and things like that. But we want to make sure we've got a wide breadth of opportunities for people to take advantage of. Similar, like it's a not an uncommon model. Salesforce does it. Several other large technology providers provide these types of mechanisms as well. So we just want to make sure that we've got a fairly rounded out ecosystem of solutions that we offer, along with solutions that the partners offer, so that again, I have to go back to what we were talking about before, but all ships rise when you can provide it and drive enough value into an organization. So to me, like partnership is going back to the other part of your question is kind of what does it mean to us around partnership is it's mutual. Like it's got to, I hate using business cliches, but that win-win kind of scenario really has to kind of come to the top. And if we both act in the good faith and good nature of what we're trying to drive value for the customers, then we both kind of win. Where it gets contentious is obviously when one's trying to overlead or overpower another one. That usually doesn't end up very well. So we want to make sure we're as neutral as possible, but both achieving the same kind of win-win benefit for our customers, which is fairly easy to do when you have good partners and good people to work with. Like I've had the fortunate, he may say unfortunate, I'll say fortunate. I've had the fortunate time to work actually work for Paul way back when. So it's a this industry's, it's a very large industry, but it's very small at the same time. So right. How do we just make sure that we're collaborating with the right people, making sure we're driving value to the right things, and then making sure the customers see it as well. So.
Well, and I think one of the other things you do, even though you talk about being neutral, you create an environment where the results are the ones that merit what levels people are at. So right. You can't just come in and say, hey, I really think ICE is going to take off this year. I want to be a gold level partner. No, there's steps you have to go through. Mm-hmm. You have to have references. You have to have lenders that are on the platform that give a recommendation. I've worked with a number of tech companies that have to go through that process, and they're all excited. Mm-hmm. And then the proof is in the pudding when the rubber meets the road, and they're like, well, we only got 3 people. We don't have 5. We were only able to get this one video and not the other. So it's a huge testament to what Lender Price has been able to do to say, right. Hey, we're a gold level partner. We're the only product and pricing engine that is a gold. That's earned by their relationships with the lenders and going through the platform that you guys have created. So Paul, tell me a little bit about what does this integration do? What value does the integration between Lender Price and Encompass do for lenders?
So, as Eric said, Encompass is the leading LOS in the industry, and now you take Lender Price, which is a leading product and pricing engine in the industry as well. We're modern. We're fully cloud-based. We were the first cloud-based company out there. We built our system from APIs from the start. And when we started working with ICE, we said, all right, let's get that integration working really well. So we have our UI is embedded inside of their application. And the value that provides is our UI is customizable, or configurable. So customizable is I got to pay a developer to do work. Yep. Customizable is we can add things to that UI at any point in time. So if they go into Encompass and they add in a new field, because again, Encompass is fully customizable or configurable as well, and they can go in and they can add new fields. So they can add a new field into Encompass, and then they can come to us and say, hey, we want to use that new field to write rules on. It's not like I have to go and do a whole lot of development work. All I have to do is we have the same ability to create a dynamic field on our side, and we just marry the two fields up, and now we can put it on the UI. So they don't have to go to ICE and say, hey, I want to change the UI for my product and pricing. It's fully configurable, so we make the change, and they can have as many different UI look and feels as they want, all by just flipping. So if they want a investment UI versus a non-QM versus a conventional, they can have those three UIs all inside the one iframe without ICE having to do any work, and in all reality, without us having to do any development work.
So are you trying to say it's scalable and repeatable, Paul? Is that
Definitely.
Well, and I think I'm glad you clarified the customizable and the configurable, because when you say customizable, it scares the crap out of a lot of people because they're like, oh, like you said, it's money, right?
Sure.
It's cost, it's programmers, it's time, it's resources. Configurable is, hey, I can personalize this, I can really adapt it to how I need it to do, but I don't need all of those additional resources. I don't need all of that time. So I think that's very powerful. You know, there's always been the discussions whether it's customizable or configurable, whether I should build or whether I should buy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always been a lot of great discussions on build or buy. But as we move forward and we talk about some of the other things that are going on, I'm probably not supposed to announce this, but I'm going to. I mean, this is the podcast, and our listeners are very engaged, but it's my understanding that Lender Price recently received the prestigious ICE Lender's Choice Award. Eric, is that true? And am I able to talk about it on this podcast today? I mean, I just announced it, so.
I sure hope so.
So tell me, what is the ICE, Lender's Choice Award, and why is it so important, and why does it really signify the wonderful partnership Lender Price and ICE have?
Well, I think it goes back to what we were talking about before, is like the different levels of effort, right? And things that our partners have to do, right? Lender Price is a great example of that, right? Is how do we actually recognize those things in a forum that help it kind of stand out for those that do go above and beyond or make the investments to kind of do that. And this is one of those ways for us to do that, is to recognize them at experience in front of a large audience, and along with the other stuff that comes in and around announcing those types of awards. So we're excited to have them as part of it. But it all comes down to, the lenders kind of choose. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, we provide a forum, and at the end of the day, you said it before, people still have to execute. We still have to execute on the same thing. And when the lenders get together and they select these things, this is kind of the output of it, and we're excited to have Lender Price as part of that as well, which is really exciting. So kudos.
Well, Paul, congratulations.
Yes.
I don't know if it's been officially announced, but I'm letting you know right now, you guys will be acknowledged as an ICE Lender's Choice Award. And like Eric said, it's the lenders who are able to vote and kind of put their plug in. I'm getting excited as we're just talking about ICE experience. And since we're congratulating you and I pre-announced that, I'm going to do a selfish plug too for anyone going to ICE experience. On Wednesday, there's going to be a wonderful panel on automation. If you haven't signed up for it, please do. I get the privilege and pleasure to moderate a great panel on automation. So if on Wednesday afternoon you've got some time, sign up for that. I'd love to have more people show up for that session than some of the ones that Eric's running, so that's kind of a little competition there.
It's a popularity thing at this point. We have to try and prove.
Well, believe me, they're not coming for the moderator. They're coming for the subject matter experts that are on the panel. But either way,
there's nothing to do with me, that's for sure.
I'm glad to be a part of it. And so, Paul, tell me a little bit. We've talked about the great partnership you have. We talked about what the pricing engine has done. What are some of the features? What are some of the solutions? What are some of the new things coming down the pike, either that you're announcing at ICE or you've got planned for throughout this year?
So we're building out a lot more functionality. What we've heard from our clients is that they want more functionality as it relates to their lock policies. They want to be able to have different options available around relocks, negotiations. They want to have the ability to have a hierarchical approval, so a loan officer can approve, 50 basis point concession. The branch manager can do a 1 point, regional manager 1.5, and lock desk has to do anything over 1.5. So again, we're looking at building that functionality out into the system. We're looking at, again, how do we integrate quicker with, or how does our system process data quicker so that we can, again, continue to make it as efficient as possible for people. We also last year we rolled out our base price experience, and we've been rolling that out to different clients as well. And again, it creates that ability to generate your base price, which links directly into the pricing engine. So that way you can quickly reprice in 3 to 5 minutes. You can click 3 buttons and all your pricing is repriced and into the lender price product and price engine, and then it's available to them through the Encompass integration. So we're also looking at expanding our MI relationships and being able to provide a lot more flexibility as it relates to best execution in that regard. And we're constantly looking at new vendors or partners to integrate with, on the CRM side, as well as fee engines and things of that nature. So we've got some of that coming out later in the year as well.
Awesome. And that's another advantage of being at ICE Experience. You can meet with some of those other providers, some of those other vendors. You can really enhance the relationship you have with those other partners in addition to all of the users on Encompass. Eric, I know we're winding down. I could talk to you guys forever. We'll see each other, in less than a month, probably on the airplane out to Vegas.
Probably.
But Eric, as we're winding down, we've talked a lot about ICE Experience. What are some of the things, if somebody hasn't signed up yet, or if they've signed up but they haven't registered for what sessions they are going to, what are some of the things they can really look forward to in ICE Experience 24?
Yeah, I mean, there's really probably two or three things. I'm sure I'll get yelled at because there's about 5,000 things that should be listed, but I'm not going to be able to get to them. But we kind of talked about early on. I've mentioned it before. Is that there's really two types of audiences that kind of come to experiences. One is, let's call them the technology, admins, power user type folks, right, that are there. And then obviously the executives from a lot of the lenders and a lot of the services around the country as well are also going to be there. So we had to create content for both of those, for both of those folks. So you're going to get, when you go look at the agenda, you're going to see two very distinct sets of content, like very specific product type usage things that you'll see, partner connections as well, content specific to that. And then you'll see the industry insight type stuff. You'll see a couple, we have a really big economic super session that's going to happen for about an hour and a half on Tuesday, I think, which will be great. That's got Fannie, Freddie, and a bunch of other folks on it as well, which are always good to hear from. And then you'll get into some more of the, let's call it industry kind of topics, right? Automation, MBA. I'm not allowed to say it, but MBA is actually hosting an AI session. We're not participating in it just because we're very sensitive to that. But MBA is going to host an AI session around that as well. So you get. I guess my point is you'll get really good breadth of both of those types of topics. So there's something for everybody, as best as we can. Plus, it's in Vegas. It's at the Wynn. Right, good food. Yep. All that stuff's kind of taken care of. We've got some really good speakers, big keynote speakers as well that are going to be there, which is great. We got Ted Lasso,
great networking events.
Yeah, great networking events. We got Ted Lasso showing up, which would be great. I mean, that's awesome, and so that's cool. So, we're excited about that. But to me, the first thing is the content. The second thing is exactly what we've been talking about for the last 20 some odd minutes or so. It's just the ability to kind of network and connect with people, because it's about, what are you guys trying to accomplish? How are you tackling this market this year? What are the things you're looking for? What should we be looking at? What are you looking at? And it's really an opportunity for those groups to really kind of get together. So
Outstanding. Well, Eric, thank you for that. And Paul, once again, congratulations
Yes.
on the ICE Lender's Choice Award for Lender Price. That is a wonderful accomplishment. And if people want to meet with Lender Price at ICE Experience, how can they get a hold of you? How can they get something scheduled? Because I know they're going to want to see your incredible solution and the great integration that you have.
They can just hit us up on email. They can email me direct, porlando@lenderprice.com, and I will get them connected up with the sales team, and we'll make sure that we get an appointment scheduled.
Outstanding. Well, guys, I can't thank you enough for being on this episode of the Fintech Hunting Podcast.
Thank you, Michael.
Yes, thank you.